Ryan. Thanks for taking the time to speak with me today. I'm really looking forward to our conversation and learning more about your experiences and perspectives, especially in the context of your role as a CRO. I appreciate your willingness to share your insights with me.
Of course.
Are you ready?
Thanks so much.
I'm glad we could get started. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're hoping to get out of our conversation today, or what's been on your mind lately in your role as CRO at Arist?
Yeah, I really want to understand where all of our sales reps' gaps are and paint a really clear picture of what we should do moving forward based on what sorts of challenges you uncover within the company.
So you're looking to identify gaps in your sales team's performance and use our conversation to inform your strategy moving forward. That makes sense. Can you tell me more about what you've observed so far in terms of challenges or areas where you think the sales team might be struggling?
Yeah, I think we have really skilled reps, but the problem with having cool technology that you can use for a lot of different things is that a lot of our buyers will often try to use it for too many things at once. We want our reps to be really targeted and prescriptive about exactly what the best use cases for Arist are, where to point them, and make sure that they align with the most strategic buyers in order to get the most impact at the company as fast as possible.
Thanks for sharing that. It sounds like you're looking to help your sales reps focus on the most impactful use cases for Arist. Next, can you tell me more about what you think are the most significant challenges your sales team faces when it comes to effectively communicating the value of Arist to potential buyers?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the balance of how much to focus on the product versus how much to do discovery with the particular companies to figure out where their own gaps and issues are. You know, we're working with companies that are so large and so complicated that there might be 20 different people, 30 different use cases, and some people assume Arist is just cool tech. Others have a really strategic focus for it.
That's really helpful context. It sounds like navigating those complex relationships and identifying the right use cases can be a challenge. How do you currently support your sales reps in developing the skills they need to have those strategic conversations with potential buyers and to really understand their needs and pain points?
Right now, we use a mix of Arist courses, gong calls, and essentially ride-alongs and different sales calls. We do a lot of coaching around exactly how to be prescriptive with customers and how to essentially function like a consultant to a lot of these organizations. Sometimes that really helps, but I think it's really tough for a rep to talk to a prospect and tell them, hey, I think you're wrong, or hey, I think we need to take a different approach here. And when we say being prescriptive, we really mean creating lots of friction with the buyer to push back on where to use cool tech versus where to use something that is strategic and is actually going to make the company a lot of money.
It sounds like you're trying to strike a balance between being consultative and prescriptive with your potential buyers, which can be a challenging but important part of the sales process. Can you tell me more about how you think your sales reps can better navigate those conversations and create the right amount of friction to drive strategic decisions without alienating the buyer?
Yeah, I think that a lot of it comes down to the sales rep's ability to map workflows with a customer, understand where exactly the gaps are in their organization, using tools like this to figure out where they went wrong or where their reps are struggling, and then pinpoint how to solve those exact challenges using Arist and using other interventions in their learning and enablement stack.
Thanks for that. Next, can you tell me about how you see the role of the sales rep evolving in the next 6-12 months? And what skills or training you think they'll need to develop in order to be successful in that new landscape?
Yeah, today our sale, I'd say, is more transactional than I'd like. And so our reps are working with buyers, they're doing some basic blocking and tackling, understanding where some gaps are, and then selling to that person or one above them. I'd like reps to really shift to being a lot more consultative with prospects. And so going in there, figuring out who all the stakeholders are, mapping their entire enablement stack and workflow end to end, looking at their big vision, and then really understanding, because Arist has so many different agents that do so many different things, being really prescriptive and consultative with them to show exactly where they can get value and exactly where Arist can plug into use cases that are the most valuable to the company.
So you're looking for your sales reps to move from a more traditional sales approach to a more consultative one, where they're really understanding the buyer's needs and pain points, and then using that information to provide tailored solutions and recommendations. That makes sense, especially given the complexity of Arist's product and the various use cases it can support. How do you think you'll measure the success of this shift? And what metrics or outcomes will you be looking at to determine whether your sales reps are effectively making this transition?
I think I'll spend a lot of time focusing on obviously deal momentum, right? How fast are people moving through particular stages? More specifically, going from what's called our building momentum stage to our executive validation stage, which basically means the first stage is where we have all of the buyers, all of the potential people in the room, but we don't exactly know who owns something or where to go. The second stage is really about, hey, we have a clear proposal, we know who's in charge, and we know how to move forward. My big focus is going to be on how many deals are stuck in the first stage versus the second, the progression of those deals, and then obviously watching how reps are blocking and tackling when watching call recordings or going through specific deals with them.
So you'll be tracking the velocity of deals moving through the sales pipeline, specifically from the building momentum stage to the executive validation stage, as a key metric for success. You'll also be monitoring the number of deals that get stuck in the first stage and working with reps to improve their skills and strategies to move those deals forward. And you'll be using call recordings and deal reviews as a way to coach and develop your reps' skills in real time. Got it. Is there anything else you'd like to add or discuss? Or are there any other challenges or opportunities that you're thinking about as you look to the future of your sales team?
No, I think that's it. Excited to work together and figure out where our gaps are so we can fix them as fast as possible.
Thanks for sharing your thoughts and insights with me today, Ryan. I'm looking forward to working together to identify areas for improvement and developing strategies to address them. I'll make sure to follow up with you soon to discuss next steps. Have a great day.
Thank you.